Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Speak English with Me, the podcast. I'm Jensen.
And I'm Mia. In our last episode, we talked about making friends. You learned how to start a conversation, ask simple questions, and introduce yourself.
Yes, and you all did great. We got so many lovely messages from our listeners around the world.
Today's episode is all about daily routines, the small things we do every day, from waking up to going to bed.
We'll start with a story, a day in our lives. Then we'll talk about new words, idioms, and phrasal verbs you can use to describe your own routine.
So, grab your coffee or tea and listen closely. This episode is like a window into real, everyday English.
Let's start our day. The alarm rings. It's 6:30 in the morning. The sun is just starting to rise, and the city is still quiet. I open my eyes, grab my phone, and turn off the alarm. I stretch, take a deep breath, and think, okay, new day, new energy.
Good morning already? I think I need 5 more minutes.
That's Mia. She always says 5 more minutes.
But I always get up. Eventually.
I go to the bathroom, wash my face, brush my teeth, and take a shower. Then I make coffee. Strong, black coffee. I can't start my day without it.
I prefer tea. I take a quick shower, dry my hair, and make some toast. I like to eat breakfast slowly, listening to the radio.
At 7:30, I leave home and walk to the bus stop. The air is fresh, and people are starting their day. Kids with backpacks, people with headphones, cars passing by.
I start work a bit later, so I usually stay home until 9. I check my emails, reply to messages, and sometimes water my plants. Then I go to my small office nearby. I teach English online, so I prepare my lessons.
When I get to my office, I greet my coworkers. Good morning, everyone. I turn on my computer, check the schedule, and drink another coffee. I usually have my first meeting at 9.
At 9 a.m., I start my first online class. Good morning, everyone, I say to my students. They look sleepy, but happy to learn. We talk about grammar, pronunciation, and sometimes about life.
At noon, I go out for lunch. There's a small cafe near my office. I usually order a chicken sandwich and sparkling water. Sometimes I go with my colleague, Daniel.
Hey, Jensen, how's your morning?
Pretty good, just the usual. Meetings, emails, coffee. You?
Same here. Let's grab a bite. I also take a break around noon. I walk to a small park near my office. I sit on a bench, eat my sandwich, and enjoy the fresh air. It's a nice time to relax before my afternoon lessons.
After lunch, I work until 5. Some days are busy, some are calm. At 5:15, I leave the office and go to the gym. I usually run for 30 minutes and lift some weights. It helps me stay healthy and clears my mind.
I'm not a gym person. After work, I like to go to the supermarket. I buy fruits, vegetables, and sometimes chocolate. Then I go home and cook dinner: pasta, rice, or soup.
When I get home around 7, I'm hungry. Mia's usually already cooking.
We eat dinner together and talk about our day. Sometimes we watch a short movie or listen to music.
By 10, I'm ready for bed. I read a few pages of a book, check tomorrow's plan, and say goodnight.
I write a short journal before I sleep. It helps me relax.
That's our daily routine. Not perfect, but peaceful. Simple things, coffee, work, walks, dinner, sleep, that make a full life. Now, let's talk about the language we heard in today's story. We'll look at daily routine verbs, useful expressions, and some idioms and phrasal verbs you can use in your daily life.
6 a.m. Part 1. Daily routine verbs.
Mia, you heard many verbs in the story. Wake up, get up, brush, wash, take a shower, make coffee, go to work, eat lunch, come home, go to bed. Let's go through a few examples slowly. I wake up at 6:30 means you open your eyes. I get up at 6:35 means you leave the bed. I take a shower. I make coffee. I go to work.
And remember, in English, we use the simple present tense for routines. I go, she eats, they work.
Right. He works, not he work. Always add S for he, she, it. So, I work in the morning. She works at night. Simple, right?
Coffee time, part 2, daily expressions.
Here are a few useful expressions from our story. Grab a bite means to eat something quickly. Hit the snooze button means to delay your alarm and sleep a little longer. Run late means you're behind schedule. Call it a day means you stop working for the day.
Let's use them in sentences. I grab a bite before class. I hit the snooze button every morning. I'm running late for work. Let's call it a day.
You'll hear these all the time in everyday English.
Lunchtime, part 3, time expressions.
When you talk about time, use at plus the hour. At 7, at 8:15, at noon, at night. And we use in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, but we say at night, not in the night.
So, you can say, I wake up at 7 in the morning. I go to bed at 10 at night.
Work ends out now. Part 4, useful questions and answers. Now, if you want to ask someone about their daily routine, try these questions. What time do you wake up? When do you go to work? What do you usually eat for breakfast?
And some answers. I wake up at 6. I go to work at 9. I usually eat toast and eggs.
You can also use adverbs like always, usually, sometimes, never.
For example, I usually wake up early. I sometimes eat out. I never skip breakfast.
Evening calm down, part 5. Idioms and phrasal verbs for routines. Let's learn a few more fun ones. Sleep in, to wake up later than usual. I love to sleep in on weekends. Get going, to start your day or leave. It's 8 o'clock, I need to get going. Wind down, to relax at the end of the day. I read a book to wind down. Drop by, to visit someone quickly. I might drop by your office later. Catch up, to talk with someone you haven't seen in a while. Let's catch up this weekend.
These sound so natural. Try using one or two of them when you talk about your day. 19:07 a.m., part 6, conversation practice, role play style.
Let's do a short conversation. Listen first.
What time do you get up, Jensen?
Usually around 6:30. You?
I sleep in until 7.
Lucky you.
Then I get going around 8.
Try repeating after us if you want. Pause and speak out loud. Speaking is how you really improve.
10:30 a.m., part 7, reflection and speaking practice. Think about your daily routine. What time do you wake up? What do you usually eat for breakfast? When do you finish work or school? Say it out loud, like this. I wake up at 7. I go to work at 9. I have lunch at 1.
If you say it every day, soon you'll speak naturally without thinking. And now, let's listen again to our story, but this time without interruptions. Listen carefully. You'll understand much more now. The alarm rings at 6:30. I wake up, turn it off, and get up slowly. I take a shower, brush my teeth, and make coffee. At 7:30, I leave home and walk to the bus stop.
I wake up a bit later, around 7. I make tea and toast, check my emails, and prepare for my online classes.
At work, I talk with my coworkers and have meetings. At noon, I go to a cafe and grab a bite with Daniel.
I go to the park for lunch. I like to sit on a bench and enjoy the fresh air.
After work, I go to the gym. I run for 30 minutes and lift some weights.
After my classes, I go shopping and buy vegetables for dinner.
In the evening, we have dinner together, talk, and relax.
At 10 p.m., I write a short journal and say good night.
And I read a few pages of a book, then turn off the light. And that's our day and today's episode. You learned how to talk about your daily routine and many useful verbs, expressions, and idioms.
Try to describe your own day using what you learned today. Maybe say it out loud or write it in your notebook.
Remember, practice makes progress. Speak a little English every day, even to yourself.
Next time, we'll talk about ordering food at a cafe, a fun and useful topic for everyone.
Thanks for listening to Speak English with Me, the podcast. I'm Jensen.
And I'm Mia.
See you next time.